The magnolias are blooming, and today we will be looking at different varieties of magnolias in both East Lansing and Lansing. This is Teresa Rosato, and let's take a look. Oh, I wish you could smell this. I mean, I tell you, the best time to come to MSU is when the students are gone and in the spring when everything is just active. What I am smelling right now, and I wish you could too, are these magnolias. These are magnificent. This particular variety right here is the Merrill magnolia, Magnolia cultivus, or Magnoliaceae cultivated. It was actually two cross varieties, a cultivus and a star magnolia. Magnolias are indigenous to the United States as well as Canada. Our cucumber magnolia, as well as the sweet bay magnolia and other varieties. The Cherokee people used the tree bark for digestive remedies for different types of illnesses. There are over 200 varieties of magnolias, and they are found predominantly in Asia, but we even find them as far south as Brazil. I'm at the Alice Cole's house at Michigan State University, and it's the north end of the building by the doors here. Look at that beautiful light fixture. There's two of these on both sides, but there's also two large saucer magnolias. These are great examples of tepals. Magnolias are one of the unique trees, like tulips and lilies, that do not have petals. And what a sepal is an undifferentiated part of the plant between a sepal and a petal. That's right, I got part of my degree was in botany and plant physiology. I just had a fascination with the plant species, and I carried it into anthropology in determining like paleobotany, but also food crops. A lot of times you need a background in botany to analyze a site and the types of food crops, like maybe pollen or other types of fibers or seeds available. The magnolia was named after French botanist Pierre Magnol, who was born in 1638. He attended the University of Montpellier in France, and it has one of the best botany programs in the world and has so for many decades. He graduated with a degree in medicine, but because of medicine's pharmacology's tie to botany at that time period, it was a fitting field for him to study. Pierre Magnol's credit in science goes back to nomenclature and forming a system of nomenclature based on the morphology of plants. So when we see these species and find categories to designate them in, we can credit Pierre Magnol for that. Now look at these gorgeous magnolias. I mean, if you've never visited Mount Hope Cemetery ever in your life, this is a time to do that. Look at these gorgeous magnolias at the entrance. They just really complement that. And have you ever noticed this? Look at the top of these towers here. Look at that ironwork at the top. It's really an amazing structure here. And everywhere from the gilding here on the lettering and the carving to that, and the arches and the peaks and the columns. sure what variety, but I've noticed up and down the street there's some of the older homes that have a very similar variety. And even by my home, the Teal house, the Teals used to have a greenhouse, and part of their property included Walter French. And if you look in the very back of the lot, the grassy area, you'll see some of the past trees from Walter French. Now this is one of the teal trees. This property here that I'm looking at, it's the parking lot by Walter French. This used to be the property of the Teal house, and Harry Teal used to be one of the floor managers of Rio Motor Car Company, and this was one of his houses. There was another house that stood right here. That was the main house. This other house here, I believe, was like a grandpa, grandma home, or what, some other relatives. They had two houses here. But this property here used to be the big, really fancy house. And they did take it down at some point, and there used to be a lot of pine trees, and you'll still see a few of them left over. And this area right back here, there's the mystery house. I don't know if you see it. It's scheduled for demolishment. I am very saddened by that. But this is the mystery house here. But this used to be a greenhouse, this space right here where this parking lot is. But I wanted you to take a look. I mean, I'm very interested in also the preservation of varieties of plants and stuff, like historical botany. These are ones from the Harry Teal. Things I'm interested in is historical botany, and not only our indigenous ancestors, but as well Harry Teal. And I'm fascinated with the types of plants they established within our neighborhood, and this magnolia as well as these pine trees. include my apricot tree. Look at that, man. Every year I think it's gonna quit, but all of a sudden blooms back out. I've cut back a lot of branches. It had some disease here that's kind of dampered some of the branches here on this side, and in fact you can see this whole area right here is struggling. I'm going to cut that back.